Welcome to the iPad Possibilities Podcast, episode number 11. Weekly thought: the iPad as a display. Well, welcome, and this is the iPad Possibilities Podcast. I'm Tim, and I'm your host of this show, and you might be asking yourself, why am I getting new content? Why am I getting a new show on Friday or Saturday, depending on how you get this show? Either by the app, which you get it Friday, or the regular podcast feed, which you will get on Saturday. And it came to my idea that it's a great amount of time between Thursday and Tuesday for everyone that gets the show that way, or, Wednesday and Monday. So I came up with the idea that wouldn't it be awesome if the people with the podcast app got a brand new episode, some brand new content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and for those without the podcast app, getting it every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So pretty much every other day, I'd like to have some new content for you guys out there, and I think it'll be great. I'd love to have your feedback on if you like this extra content, if you like having this extra little show on the weekend to hold you over until Monday or Tuesday, depending on how you listen to this show. So I'd love for some feedback on this. This is a new idea I started up. I'd love feedback on this. You can send that feedback to iPadPossibilities@gmail.com, or if you want to send in a voice message, you can do that at 209-542-iPad. That's 209-542-4723. So if you could just send your feedback on what you think of this new idea, this new episode I'll have every Friday or Saturday. Do you like the idea of having extra content during these days? Is it something you'd appreciate? So simply send your feedback about this new show that's going to be happening every Friday or Saturday. I'd really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get to the thought of this week. Well, the thought of this week is a few days ago, I've been looking into getting a Mac Mini to replace my MacBook Pro. I've got a 17-inch MacBook Pro, the original ones that came out back in 2006, and I'm looking into actually getting a Mac Mini to replace that. So the idea came into my mind, that wouldn't it be sweet? Wouldn't it be incredible to one day have a Mac Mini, and what if the dock connector on the iPad could be used as a display in, not a display out, a display in. So say one day, this probably won't be available with the current iPad, the current version, but say one day that you could actually output from a Mac Mini to an iPad as the display device. So what this means is you could then hook up the keyboard and mouse to the Mac Mini, have it operate like a normal computer, but when you're out on the road, you don't need to buy a separate display. You can simply use your iPad as a display for this device. You can use the multi-touch information as well with the Mac Mini now, and you can clean off a lot of space on your desk, getting rid of a monitor and using the iPad instead. So I had this idea that what if you could do this? What if you could simply use your iPad as your one monitor for everything? We talked earlier about VNC and the iPad, and wouldn't it be awesome if you could just use VNC in a Mac Mini or a Dell Mini or whatever you want to, whatever little computer you want to have stored in your closet? Wouldn't it be awesome if instead of VNC, what if you can just directly hook in your Mac Mini as a monitor to like whatever computer you're using? The iMac now has a display in. What if Apple moved that from the iMac to the iPad? Is that appealing? Is that something you guys would use? I think it'd be amazing for my own use case. And what if larger iPads came out? If you go to iPadalone.com, Anthony Moody was talking about what if there's larger iPads that'll come out that are more designed for home usage that aren't supposed to be as mobile. But what if you had a 15-inch or 17-inch iPad that just sits at your desk all day or around the house? And what if you then input display information to that device. I think it's a very intriguing, very interesting future that we're on the verge of seeing what's coming out, on the verge of merging devices, merging the desktop and the mobile. I think it's amazing the possibilities that are coming out just from the iPad as a display. I'm going to be looking into seriously once I get the Mac Mini all up and running and get rid of the MacBook Pro. Hopefully sell it for a decent amount to actually cover some costs of the iPad. And I think it'll be pretty incredible what's going to be happening. I'm going to be definitely looking into jailbreaking and seeing if a jailbreak solution could actually do this. I'll be going through the community and trying to find a solution to actually accomplish this. And if there's developers out there jailbreaking or whatever, if you can think of a way to have this done, if you can think of a way to accomplish this, please let me know about it. I'd love to have you in the show and talk about how this could actually be accomplished. And so that's a call out to you developers out there. I wish I could do this stuff. I'm trying to learn how to develop, but if you could think of a way to do this, that would be phenomenal. I'm going to start working with VNC apps and seeing how those all work on the iPad with the Mac Mini, and that's going to be an incredible experiment to see how that works. Can you get by doing that without a display, working over VNC? How fast are the connections to do this? So I'm going to be looking into actually doing this. So I'd appreciate any feedback you guys have on your thoughts as the iPad as a display for your computer, and perhaps getting rid of your regular display and just simply using the iPad as your display and then taking your monitor, your iPad with you as you go. So that concludes the thought of the week, the iPad display. As always, please send your feedback to iPadPossibilities@gmail.com and leave those voice messages at 209-542-iPad. This podcast is supported by the iPad Possibilities podcast app found in the App Store for $2.99. Get it today and you'll get access to the shows 24 hours in advance on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays now. So that concludes this week. We will speak again Sunday night for the live show if you want to join us. Just go to thepossibilitiesnetwork.com to find out more information about this show and other shows on the network. This is part of a network, a whole network of shows on possibilities and potential. So until Monday or Sunday night, whenever you get the shows, this is Tim Chatton with the iPad Possibilities Podcast.